back to Gear of the Common Game. Today, we're going to talk about my buddy Danny's Bruvac deck. We're not going to try to say that crazy long word. Grandiloquent? Sounds very distinguished, doesn't it? As y'all remember, I have built this deck. It was a while back. I'm not exactly certain. Time has no meaning. But this is his, and he's been kind of tinkering with it back and forth, and I think he's got it the way he likes it. So, obviously, it being Bruvac, the main theme here is mill. So we will get into the mill cards first. And why are we not focusing? Come on. Come on now. There we go. We'll just manually force it. Okay, so Alter the Brute. Great, great card. I did not. A mutual friend of ours introduced me to this card. A man named Mark. Great player. Ruin Crab, because it's just amazing. Each opponent. You know what else says each opponent? Maddening Cacophony. By the way, these foil extended arts for Maddening Cacophony are still like dirt cheap. I don't get it. Memory Erosion. I mean, that's a pretty easy setup right there. It's whenever an opponent plays a spell. Okay. Traumatize. Teferi's Tutelage. Fleet Swallower. And Fraying Sanity. Now, I have been on the receiving end of this Fraying Sanity, and it has killed me several times. We got a couple cards to go help find it. Of course, the Merchant Scroll and the Mystical Tutor. The only fast mana I could find was Soul Ring and High Tide. To which, to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of expensive CMC cards in the deck. So, but now card draw. He's got some card draw. Consecrated Sphinx is probably the best card draw there is. Rhystic Study. Ancestral Vision, Mole Drifter. Mole Drifter fulfills another role in this as well. Well, I say another role. It's going to draw cards, but it looks like it's going to draw an insane amount of cards. Dictative Crucifix, which I'm really surprised that he plays because it really, really bothers him to help out the table. You know, it does kind of go against what we're there to do. And then Mind's Dilation. If anybody ever tells you Mind's Dilation is not card advantage, ooh, they haven't played it or played against it. This card, I'm telling you, it just gets, it's a personal favorite of the entire play group. But I'm telling you what, I have seen games won and lost off of Mind's Dilation. Just, I mean, if it only makes it one round, sometimes it only has to make it one spell to make it worthwhile. I'm saying. Now, there is a second kind of sub-theme here that I really, really like, and I want to show it to you before I show you the creatures. It's copy. Because obviously, we want to copy our Traumatize or our Maddening Cacophony, whatever. But it's overall copy. I mean, we're expecting stuff like Twin Cast, but the copy theme is pretty deep. Quasi-duplicate. Tokens that are copies of creatures you control. There are quite a few beautiful, beautiful creatures to copy. Clever Impersonator. Stunt Double. Mystic Reflection. Now, I like this. Yeah. This is good. Mystic Reflection is good offensive or defensive. I mean, and it's a good political trick too. Vizier of Many Faces, Sculpting Steel, Copy Enchantment, Phyrexian Metamorph, Sakashima, Glasspool Mimic, Lithoform Engine, and I'm even counting the Isochron Scepter as copy because, I mean, there's some really good stuff to put on the Scepter. As a matter of fact, when we get there, I'll go through. Oh, heck, let's just get there now. This is the I don't know category. I mean, it's all good stuff. but none of them are instants. So we're looking for 2 CMC instants. Yeah, I would say there's a few. Uh, there's Counterspell, for the no stick. Then the ultimate no stick, there's Mana Drain to put on it. Swan Song and Remand. Oh, that's the new Remand. He must have just recently swapped that out. Nice. While we're here in the rest of the what would be the removal category, we'll go ahead and do it. I mean, it's kind of out of order, but it's all good. We have, I guess we'll continue with the counter magic. Cryptic Command, Fierce Guardianship, Force of Negation. Danny, are you sure this is not a permission deck? Mystic Confluence, Force of Will, Voracious Great Shark, Insidious Will, Sublime Epiphany. And then, now, I consider Political Trickery to be a removal card because the card will be on the board, but not a problem for you. You're going to give them an island for whatever land that they've got that either you want or that's causing you a problem. Problematic lands, or oh gosh, the list goes on. Cabal Coffers, Gas Cradle, Sarah Sanctum, Homeward Path. Maze of Death. Oh gosh, yeah. But I kind of like that, Danny. A Psychic Impetus. Removal. Imprison in the Moon. I am so glad to see he's running this. I say that until, it hits my creature. But, gosh, it's such a good card. And then the beautiful, beautiful printing of Capsize. This promo is the only foil version of Capsize so far. Original art, got the Weatherlight in it. It's beautiful. Creature-wise, here are, obviously, the creatures your opponent cast, but Torrential Gearhulk is an amazing card. Target instant card from your graveyard. This alone's worth running a whole bunch of copies. I hear that Snapcaster Mage is a pretty good creature, especially if you've got big sorceries like Traumatize or Magic Cacophony in your graveyard that you cast. Just something I've heard. Royal Elemental, great one to copy. You can steal all the things. Sphinx of the Final Word. I like this. So your mill spells can't be countered. That's pretty sweet. Dead Eye Navigator. Now this, I think this is the creature that kind of holds it all together, because we can bond with the Mole Drifter, the big robot that we just saw that I can't remember the name. Yeah, that guy. It's dang it, the Gearhulk. That's it. Bonding with so many things. Snappy. Bonding with Snappy is insane. So it is really, really good. Hole Breacher. I love this. This is the level of control. Hole Breacher. I'm going to mill you out, but I'm going to mill you out. You're not going to draw any extra cards. And, this thing, of course, as you know, we normally have larger than normal games, but Hole Breacher comes down, and I've seen it make one revolution of the table, and him to get his mana back in treasure twice, 3 times over. It's a wonderful thing. Shrieking Drake. Shrieking Drake is also amazing. Mainly because of the Vidocq and Ore interaction, so you can do it at instant speed and save one of your other creatures that matter, or maybe you want to get that Gearhulk ETB again, or the Snappy ETB, or the really really good. Now the man himself, Teferi. Oh man, the this version of Teferi is just, it's a great card. What can I say? Hate playing against it. Love to actually cast it. The rest of these I could not find a category for. We'll go with Teferi Temporal Archmage. Now this is, there's only one other walker, but Archmage is a good card. We have Tamiyo, the Moon Sage. I love the controllability of, how she just freezes down that permanent. But if you can get her to the ultimate, and I know we should not be judging walkers based on their ultimate, because technically most ultimates should get you pretty close to winning the game. But yeah, this is really good. Whenever a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, you may return it to your hand. Yeah, I don't know what percentage of time it happens. I didn't know this card was in the deck. There was a couple here that I have never seen when he's played, but they are pretty good. All Run is pretty new. That's nice. Back to Basics is a backbreaker to a lot of decks. But you know what? It buys him time. Buys him time not to, die a lot. Bribery is just a wonderful card, Brazen Borrower. Got to have the spell book. Relearn. Propaganda. Thieving Skydiver. Stealing stuff. The Mirari Conjecture. Getting that instant back just like Relearn. And then the one card that shocked me the most, I had no clue that was in the deck. Stasis. And I was going through there and I went, what Stasis? I don't, what? And then it dawned on me how like next level genius this is. This is not a I kill you with Stasis deck. This is, I play Stasis to grind this to a halt to buy time. Because that is one thing that the mill deck has a hard time doing is, aggro decks or combo decks or things like that. They have a real hard time running up against that. And Stasis buys you the time. It's not a forever Stasis. There's, but we saw the capsize. We saw a lot of ways to bounce. Stasis isn't going to kill you. Stasis is just going to, it's a safety valve for this deck to make sure he has enough time to mill you. And that I like. Because, I'll be honest with you, I didn't see it coming. We have Talera West. Got to have that spellbook. Command Tower and Seat of the Synod as our non-base. No Reliquary, Danny? I didn't realize there was no Reliquary Tower in this. I'll bet he meant to and just hasn't yet. And then, of course, the Danny signature of all foil basics. And this, I don't normally do this, but he's got this beautiful deck box that he puts it in. And I know it's Azorus, but this is a high quality thing right there. It's got that really tough magnet and the whole thing, so you can just grab. It's really, really neat. By the way, Danny, you'll need to shuffle this before you play it again. Yeah, like an extreme shuffle. But that is Danny's Bruvac deck. I have played against it several times in its various iterations, but yeah, it's pretty good. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. And as usual, if you have any suggested upgrades for it, let us know in the comments below. And because he watches and reads and he's seeing all this, and it could help make the deck kill me faster. So I appreciate it. We will see y'all next time.